From chains to the throne, the painful rise of Zaganos Pasha. In the shadow of empires and the fire of conquest, a nameless boy was torn from his home, shackled, and sold into slavery. Born a Christian and stripped of everything, he was just another soul swallowed by war. But fate had other plans. That orphan's name became Zaganos bin Abdullah, and his journey would shake the very foundations of the Ottoman Empire. Raised under the Ottoman Devshirme system, where Christian boys were taken, converted to Islam, and trained as soldiers, Zaganos endured brutal discipline. But the pain forged him into steel. His brilliance, loyalty, and strategy caught the eye of Sultan Mehmed II, and he was soon entrusted with mentoring the young prince, Mehmed, the future conqueror of Constantinople. When Prince Mehmed was dethroned in 1446, Zaganos did not abandon him. He walked into exile by his side, a gesture of loyalty that would never be forgotten. In 1451, when Mehmed claimed the throne, Zaganos was elevated to the position of second vizier, while the Grand Vizier's seat remained with the powerful but politically corrupt Kandarli Halil Pasha, a man who feared Mehmed's ambitions and loathed Zaganos' influence. Then came the spring of 1453. The thunder of cannons echoed across the land. The skies over Constantinople turned black with smoke as the Ottoman Empire, led by Sultan Mehmed, launched the most ambitious siege in Islamic history. The prophecy of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was at stake. Verily, Constantinople shall be conquered. What a wonderful commander will conquer it, and what a wonderful army will that army be. Among that legendary army stood Zaganos Pasha, now a seasoned commander, leading the forces from the northern front. When Halil Pasha tried to convince the Sultan to retreat, it was Zaganos who stood firm. His voice, cold and defiant, rang through the war council. Retreat now, and history will never forgive us. He ordered tunnels dug beneath the walls. He devised siege tactics with merciless precision. While the city's defenders fought like lions, Zaganos fought like a man possessed, with the rage of a slave who now had the power to shape empires. And when Constantinople fell, the crescent moon rose over Hagia Sophia. Sultan Mehmed entered the city victorious, but he had one final betrayal to deal with. He summoned Halil Pasha, the man who had secretly tried to bribe enemies and halt the conquest, and executed him without mercy. His severed head was displayed for all to see, a message that betrayal would not be forgiven. It was Zaganos Pasha who had convinced the Sultan to trust in victory. And now, he stood where no slave ever had, as Grand Vizier of the Ottoman Empire. But power has a cost. In 1456, during the failed siege of Belgrade, Zaganos bore the blame. His enemies whispered poison into the Sultan's ear. Worse still, the Sultan's trust shattered when he discovered that Zaganos' daughter lived in the royal harem, a blow to palace honor. Mehmed's fury was swift. He banished the daughter from the harem, stripped Zaganos of his titles, and exiled him to Balikizar. It was a painful fall for a man who had once walked beside the conqueror. But like all great warriors, Zaganos did not remain in the shadows for long. 3 years later, the Sultan summoned him once more, this time as the Admiral of the Navy, the guardian of Ottoman waters. He later became governor of Macedonia and Thessaloniki, forever proving that his loyalty, despite punishment, never faded. History remembers his legacy not just in battles, but in blood. He had 3 wives, one of them the daughter of Sultan Mehmed II, another Ana Khatun, the last Byzantine emperor's daughter. 6 children, 4 sons and 2 daughters. A family carved from both Ottoman and Byzantine bloodlines. In 1454, Zaganos Pasha built a mosque in Balikizar, his final resting place. One of the mighty towers of Rumeli Fortress in Istanbul still bears his name. His story is more than history. It's pain forged into power, a slave who dared to rule, a traitor's judge, a conqueror's shadow. Zaganos Pasha, the ghost who stood behind the throne of the conqueror.